Welcome, boys and girls, to my first ever YouTube video. I know, I'm surprised I'm doing this. I thought I'd never actually create one in my life, but here we are. I thought it's about time I put some input into the current situation of Battlefield 2042 in 2023, and if you should be playing this game right now or not. Now, let's be honest here. This game did not start with the best releases back in November 2021. Seriously, it was dog. But thankfully, over the last 18 months, I've actually tried to put some effort into the game and try and repair the damage they caused originally. Saying this, the community is still in a bit of a split whether this is a good Battlefield or a bad one. But this is my input of what I think you should try the game and make your own decision. Whether you're a returning player or a new one, this video is for you. Now, I've been playing Battlefield for just over a month now, so I feel like we've got a pretty good understanding of the game as a whole. Yeah, I just saw I spent 177 hours playing this game in 1 month. God, I need to get out more. All joking aside, there is a reason because of this. And guess what that is? The game is actually fun. Like, it's actually a fun game to play, guys. Don't get me wrong, though. This Battlefield definitely does not give you that feeling of the older games. Best way as I can describe Battlefield 2042 is that Call of Duty Modern Warfare Battlefield 4 had a baby, but during its birth, unfortunately lost some of its soul and magic. But in the end, that's what gave us such nostalgic moments back in those days. So I understand why people feel this way. But in my view, this should not dissuade you from giving the game a go. Or, if you're a returning player, well, come back. Because since the disaster of the launch back in 2021, there has been a mountain of updates that I will of course go through with you in this video. Well, most of the latest ones anyway. And hopefully there'll be some promising updates coming in Season 6. Honestly, DICE, please let Season 6 be an absolute banger. Like, we're holding you to this one. Don't this up. Along with numerous updates to the game over the last 18 months that have included a lot of reworks to the game maps, combat, and most importantly, it actually runs well now. 5.2 is current and latest patch. This patch has updated one of the most unpopular maps, Hourglass, which you're currently seeing the footage at this moment. Now, this is, in my opinion, a massive improvement. Is it perfect? No. As well as adding 2042 attachments to the Weapon Vault SMGs and LMGs. If you're not sure what Weapon Vault weapons are, they're just previous Battlefield weapons that have been added to the game. So you can play with some of your older favourite weapons, and actually since the update have made these pretty viable in both scenarios. Now we also have changes to bullet spread. Now in layman's term, all this means is while your gun is firing in full auto, your bullets will have a different sort of spread depending on the distance you're shooting or how quickly you're shooting. I'll go into it in more detail in a future video. All this means for now is SMGs are designed to be a bit more close range to mid-range, as they really should be, and finally has stopped some LMGs from being a total laser beam at any distance with pretty much zero control. Finally, after all this time as well, we finally have squad management, like we did on the old Battlefield. What this means is you can now control who is in your squad. So if you just want to play with your friends and stop people joining, you can. Or if people are not going for objectives and just doing their own thing and not playing part of the team, you can kick them out of the squad. Now let's look at the Vault weapons that have actually had some changes. M1911, the MP412 Rex, the M93R, the MP443. As for SMGs, that will be the P90, that is one of my personal favorites, and I will be showing off some footage later using this gun, the AKS-74U, the PP2000, and as for the good old LMGs, you have the M60E4, the XMA LMG, the M240B, the Type 88 LMG, and lastly, the RPK-74M. The last thing to talk about from 5.2 is ammo crates. Pretty much all this means now is they have a 16-second recharge time, and they're now non-shared. So it means you can't use more than one every 16 seconds. Sorry, 1 second. What are you doing? I'm trying to record here. Yeah, problems with having animals when you're trying to make content. Well, let's get back into the video, shall we? So that's pretty much the basics of what the current updates are for 5.2. But that's just really a bunch of information I've given you. What's the whole point of this video, and why should you really play this game? Surely there's better things you could be doing right now, or playing right now. Well, let's look into that, shall we? Right now, at this current time, the FPS genre, well, large-scale FPS anyway, is kind of lacking. Yes, there is plenty of other good titles right now. For instance, one of the really big ones at the moment, every single person who's played Battlefield currently playing, is BattleBit. And yes, it is doing really well and does play really well. Also, the publisher is outshining most major studios, and they've got, what, a 3 or 4 man dev team? But if you're anything like me, that Roblox/Minecraft style graphics can be, well, heavily off-putting. It's just not really my cup of tea, but that is just my point of view. Then again, if we look at other FPS games at the moment, Call of Duty, for instance, or Apex, that I know is a battle royale, but it's another very popular EA title. At this current time, those games are riddled with hackers. Like, it's beyond ridiculous of how bad they are with hacking up. Sasco, Battlefield 2042 is full of hackers too. Is it really? Look, I'm not saying there isn't hackers within Battlefield. Of course there is. There's hackers in every single game. But from what I've seen, there is not really that many. Not compared to those previous titles I've mentioned anyway. Since I've played, I've come across one blatant hacker, and that person was actually banned mid-game. That was absolutely hilarious to see. And while I hear a lot of the community does not agree with this saying, I myself cannot confirm this. I personally feel this is more false and could be to do with other reasons. Yeah, good. But still, in 1 month to only come across one hacker, that's pretty good going. I guarantee if you went to Warzone right now, you'd come about 6 in your one play session. In the end, I want to come home from a busy day at work, sit down, relax, and have fun. And I think all of us in the gaming community can agree on one thing, that we play games to somewhat relax and enjoy ourselves. And as stated before, as shocking it is to hear to a lot of people, Battlefield 2042 is now a good game and actually has a lot going for it. Right now, the game is $14.99 in Steam, and that is in British pounds, admittedly, so in dollars, that's like, what, $19? And while this promotion is only on until the 10th of August, that is around 4 days away from recording this video, you can still pick it up on places like cdkeys.com, and they have it for about under 18 quid. And if you're an Xbox player, well, the game's currently just shy of 21 quid. Now, what's that? A couple of Starbucks for your month? So for a AAA title, that's pretty much a pretty fair price to play, in my opinion. And especially for something that's got hundreds to thousands of hours worth of fun, that you can either play on your own or with friends. Well, I'd love to truly say I know what everyone would like in a game. I don't. All I am is one guy with his own views, and that's all I can really say. And I truly do feel this Battlefield is something that's worth playing. It might not feel like the old games, guys. I know it doesn't. But it has its own thing going for it. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like, you can still do all those really fun things that you used to do in other Battlefields. Whether that's paragliding through some beautiful environments, or maybe you're trying to scale a building to go and fight your enemy on top of a rooftop. Or maybe you just want to go through a big burning city that's under siege. Or maybe you just like to maybe noob-tube someone out of the sky, which I really like doing. Or maybe you just like to watch people do some really dumb stuff. If you don't like something, don't play it. That's the joy of anything these days. It's subjective. You enjoy what you enjoy. In my personal view, this game is something not to be overlooked. Forget about all the old drama. I know the game did not release very well, and I think DICE, in their own way, have been trying to rectify this. Now, don't try and take my word for it. As I said, give the game a go, because I really do think Battlefield 2042 is shaping up to be a top-notch shooter. And if you don't agree, that's fine. But I do think you'll be waiting quite a long time for Battlefield 6. I mean, we're looking about 2025. And if you've enjoyed the footage you've seen, well, there you go. Give it a go. Yeah, guys, if you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe. As I said, this is the first time we've ever done anything like this, so I'm not going to claim to be a professional or expert or anything like this, but I am going to make more content. So if you did like what you saw, as I said, like and subscribe will be very appreciated. Also, I do stream on Kick 4 times a week at around 7:30 p.m. GMT, so I will drop the link below in the description. So if you want to come and follow me on that and see what I'm like live, then that'd be really appreciated also. I hope you're all having a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out, and I'll see you all very soon.